Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Quick look again at AVAX, double checking a few important things here. Wow, this chart really played out pretty well. It does look like it popped up a little bit higher to that resistance at 27.30. So we discussed previously was a tentative support level, and obviously this emoji fulfilled itself and then some with a ton of liquidation. In fact, if I recall correctly, our previous trade here for AVAX, there we go, 58% in 8 days there, hit his target along with Dogecoin, and then we also had a long for Bitcoin up to about 68,800. So when we take a look here at AVAX, we're going to clean up this chart here, but for the most part, this is looking good for a potential recovery, but we got to recognize, even though we swept this lower fair value gap, majority liquidation has been taken care of. It doesn't mean the price is just going to instantly recover. Okay, so a lot of coins are on the downtrend. We got to update our trend lines and just kind of pay attention to like what's going on here with this coin. Because again, being blindly bullish just because the price is on sale is not really the right way to go. Okay, we can see that running concurrent with that 20-day SMA, that trend line there. So until we break above, I really can confidently say that it's not worth taking a long position, even though the price action will probably respond and try to retest that level here soon. So let's look at the backend data and quit speculating. We'll talk a little bit about kind of where we're at here moving forward. And if you could please, folks, hit that like button. Please, please, really helps grow the channel. We're getting more likes per video now. And hopefully if that continues, we can start getting more views per video too. Really appreciate the support either way. We've had a really amazing amount of supports in the last few months with people kind of just coming together and really appreciating the content. So thank you. I appreciate you too. So tons of liquidation on the upside. Please, please, please don't get this twisted, but there's a lot of liquidation between 27.30. Once again, that upper resistance level we just talked about, getting a rejection, previous support, upwards of 29. So $27.30 to $29, pretty heavy amount of concentration, or a heavy concentration of liquidation rather. We take a look here, same scenario, really just a little bit easier way to understand. $30 has a lot. That means very little right now. And the reason why is because we're not close to that price action. We're much closer to 23.50 as the next potential area of retracement. Okay, we have a lot of liquidation there too. So please understand, liquidation, whatever's closer in regards to liquidation, is more likely to get swept. Also understand here too that AVAX has been fairly bearish in the last 5 days. This is the 5-day look back, and the delta here for shorts is starting to subside. So we're starting to see people taking less shorts, implying that the bottom might tentatively be in. Okay, this doesn't necessarily mean much at all in the light of resistances, but that does tell us that we have a chance of seeing the price recover. We can see here 26.50 and 27.80 are the two areas of interest there for open interest. All right, and again, all that stuff, kind of looking at that, it's important to recognize just kind of bigger picture, what's going on the back end. And then when you look at the charts, you can kind of make a better, more informed decision. While those things are never a guarantee, and right now with all the liquidation being, majority of it being swept, specifically for Bitcoin, it's a good chance it's just kind of going to range bound, and most altcoins are going to slowly recover until Bitcoin either pulls back again or takes off. So it's kind of just that natural, we're seeing that natural retracement period here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of a relief rally to $26 or $27, but we got to pay attention to this trend line. Okay, that's the important thing. So speaking of trend, we're below all moving averages. Obviously the trend is down. We can see stochastics trying to swing upwards here. We still haven't even hit 30 on the RSI. So it tells me that we have more room for downside. The money flow index is now below the RSI, never a great sign. So the daily time frame is pretty much like 90% bearish. There's not much here telling us we're in good shape. Same thing with the 4-hour too. We're below all moving averages. We can see again that 20-day SMA running concurrent with this trend line here. And then of course we can recognize as well that we are below 50 on the RSI. Big surprise. Until we get above that, you have there's no place for you to want to take a long with confidence. Okay. Again, if you take a long right now, I would totally understand. Just make sure you watch it closely. Don't take a long to $30. It makes no sense. You're not going to hit that target. It's going to take a while. So a lot needs to happen between now and then before AVAX even comes close to $30. Okay. I would say the same thing even with 27.30. That's an area of retracement, or sorry, an area of resistance. And there's a strong chance we'll reject out there the first time we retest it. If we do, and that's again this guy right up here. I'll pull that out. Once more, if you're not familiar too, folks, I always post a playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here. So if you're not familiar, I kind of give you heads up on coins that I analyze and just what I'm planning to trade with. Okay, so it's kind of where we're at there in that regard. Taking a look quickly here, again, just to summarize, 4-hour time frame is extremely bearish. This is going to be the common denominator for the day, though, folks. You got to recognize most coins are going to have that look to them. But what you want to look at, I think that's most important, is how the price action responds to Bitcoin. So obviously we saw a sell-off down to $24. Look at this price action here, and then compare that with Bitcoin. Pretty darn similar, right? Only difference is Bitcoin is in a resistance range, and there's a good chance it'll reject and possibly come back down. If it does, I think AVAX will too. Okay, so take a look at that, and then we, kind of comparing those two. This is giving us every indication to not take a long and to keep your short position open. Okay, at least for the next 8 to 10 hours. Once the lagging span intersects with the price action, if it does, then we'll see the price action. We may see a shift in momentum there, but at this point here, there's not a lot of momentum in general. We're still below the cloud. We want to be able to, at the very least, and this is just a bare minimum, have some kind of closure above 25.65. Okay, that's the tentative resistance here for us. So we're going to pay attention to that guy. Again, breaking a trend, folks, there's 3 different steps to breaking a trend. First of all, you establish a descending trend. You understand where you're at. We're in that descending trend right now. The next step is to establish range-bound activity, which is essentially where we're at right now. You can kind of see this fairly definitive range. Okay, and then final thoughts there is to essentially break above and to retest that previous resistance as a new support, therefore establishing higher highs and higher lows. That's how you essentially change or reverse a trend. Okay, so we're hypothetically halfway through phase 2, and in order to see the uptrend and the recovery of AVAX, we need to make sure we get above this level here. Okay, I'll post that on our playout chart here on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, just so you can kind of get perspective there. I'll update our fibs as well, make sure we're on the right track there, because I know I have some previous fibs up, and we'll kind of go from there. But I do want to say thanks again so much for the amazing support from my AVAX community and everyone else, obviously, as well. You've been awesome. Deeply appreciate you. And again, congrats to our community members on some nice profit there on our AVAX short. Fantastic stuff. All right, folks, have a good rest of the day. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Take care.